All right, guys, what's going on? I am back. Let me just turn down this mic just a bit because I just realized I have it for when I'm doing my other microphone stuff. But anyway, yes, I am back. I've been away for a long time. The only real way to explain what's going on, basically, I wanted to take a break, and also I had to do also with certain programs and applications that I was using, not making it very easy to upload podcasts and things of that nature. But the good news is that I found something that should be able to work and should allow me to continue. And I especially after this weekend, I just had to come back because too many things that have been going on with the Yankees, and I just feel like I need to speak about it. Let me just go ahead and do something real quick. Okay. So basically, where do I begin? Last I remember, it was end of April. Last I did this. Very quick recap. May and June have been absolutely phenomenal. We put ourselves in a very good position, being in first place, especially with all the injuries that we've had. It's just actually pretty amazing that we are able to say that we are in first place by a substantial amount of games at this point in time, end of July, being that we had injuries beyond injuries, and still to this day have injuries that we just really don't know what the hell's going on with and when they're coming back or any kind of information whatsoever, pretty much, for the most part anyway. But as you can see, I wanted to do this right. I have a new backdrop of Yankee Stadium behind me for anybody that's watching. You can check it out, of course, as I have it here. I have it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But I have the backdrop of Yankee Stadium behind me just to give it a little bit more of that pregame feel to the podcast, or if you are watching. But anyway, I'm very happy where we're at. Now, with that being said, this past weekend was extremely, extremely rough, okay? Now, I'm going to kind of play both sides here because that's kind of how I am. I really am on like both sides. Basically, let's start with the Boston series because I don't want to make this super long, being it's the first one back. We lost 3 out of 4 to Boston. That's not even the main thing, okay? I could deal with losing 3 to 5. I mean, I don't want to. I don't like it. It's not that I would be okay with it. But if we at least had a little bit of compete, if we were able to compete with these guys and, maybe we lost in the end or whatever, I mean, yeah, it'll be frustrating losses and it would be aggravating, but nothing to this extent. We literally just got we got embarrassed. There's nothing else to say. Now, yeah, you could say, oh, how could they embarrass? We're in first place. Granted, that's very true. I mean, Boston still can't say anything negative about the Yankees because I remember watching the game the last game of the series, which was on Sunday, and I'm hearing like Boston fans screaming Yankees suck, and I'm like, dude, have you checked the standings lately? I don't know about that. You sound kind of dumb. But with that being said, they kicked our ass this weekend. Thankfully, though, the positive outlook is that yes, that last game, winning that last game was a huge difference in where we could be right now and where we are right now. We went into the series, I believe Boston was 11 games back, and we could have gotten to a point if we would have gotten swept where Boston would have been only back by 7 games. Now that's still substantial, don't get me wrong, but 7 feels a lot worse than 9. 9 feels like, okay, we still got leg room. We still got, we can work our way back to where we were and where we need to be to continue this great season that we're having. We can kind of hopefully obtain some things, which I'll get into in a minute. I'm hoping that we can obtain some things by the trade deadline, but I'll get into that in a sec. But like I said, 9 games, you still have plenty of leg room to go ahead and get everything back to where it needs to be. Get yourself situated, get back on track, and hopefully win some series again. The good thing, that was the first series, I believe, from what I remember when I was listening, that was the first series we have lost since like June 5th or something, June 6th. Guys, that's over a month of just winning series. We've been doing pretty goddamn good. And believe me, I'll be the last one to say, spoiled Yankee fans, because, listen, when it comes down to it, the reason why the Yankees are because of the fans. I don't want to hear, oh, the fans don't make the decisions. Bullshit. They may not actually go back there and fucking say this is what we're going to do, but guess what? We are the ones that hit the pockets, all right? When the fans don't show up and the fans bitch, those fucks are feeling it, all right? Cashman, Steinbrenner, they're all feeling it, okay? So for people to say like, oh, you guys can't just enjoy that, you guys are in first place and da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we enjoy it, but we also know that first place is not what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is winning a World Series. Anything less is a bust. I'm sorry, but it's true. Call us whatever you want. This is 2019. We haven't won since 2009. And even before that we've had a little bit of a drought when it comes to championships. And and I'm sorry, but that's not our standard. That may be other team standards. Oh, we won one. Great. Woohoo. That's not the way the Yankees are. Okay, when I started watching the Yankees, yeah, I got lucky enough that I'm 30 years old and I was able to start watching them around 6-7 years old when they were right at the peak of their franchise, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and so on. That was like the peak of the Yankees franchise. So yes, I get that. I know that that's not going to happen all the time. That was just one of those dominant teams. But the reason why the Yankees get to that point is because the fans have a history of when if they don't get a championship, it's a bust. I mean, if you think about it, if you're at a job or let's say you're in sales or anything, what is the goal of that day when you go to work? You want to win. You don't want to, let me just do half of this and I'll be okay with it. No. You want to do as much as possible. So when you're going in and you're trying, and it's not like, let's try and win a division and then whatever happens after that is, whatever, we'll deal with it, or we just want to win the division this year. No, it doesn't work that way, guys. You go into a season to win a championship. That is the point of the fucking sport, to see if you can win a championship each and every year. So yeah, I'm not going to be that guy that's going to say, hey, we're in first place. Or, oh yeah, well, we got to the playoffs. No. I won a championship. I want the fucking World Series, baby. I want a ring. I want number 28. It's enough already. 27, I'm sick of that fucking number. I want 28 already. It's enough. Now, like I said, I'm still going to also appreciate the fact, being a baseball fan with knowledge, that yes, we are definitely, quote unquote, and wait till I finish the sentence, we're overachieving for having so many injuries. That's the underlying sentence right there, okay? Because if it wasn't for the injuries, we're definitely where we should be and not where we need to be yet, which is, like I said, winning a championship. But the matter of us having all these injuries, yeah, we're definitely doing a lot better than what's expected when any other team has half of these injuries, especially to the type of guys. A lot of teams, you lose your ace, you're done. I mean, guys, your ace is responsible for 20 to 30 starts a season. Do you understand how many games that is? Guys, people win divisions, championships, whatever, or playoffs. Those 20 games, you only win by 5, if you have right now, 9, we're up by 9 games. I mean, yeah, that's substantial, but if you really think about it, without an ace, that's incredible. So, like I said, I'm playing that because at the same time I understand and I appreciate it, but at the same time I'm like, okay, but now that I see what we can do, even with injuries, we need to put the fucking let's get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? Um, Listen, the starting pitching. I'll get into this now. Okay, the starting pitching is absolutely atrocious. It's terrible. Um, which we kind of knew was going to be our main thing. It's been our main problem for years now. Hap is actually the last couple of starts, if I'm not mistaken. I think the last start he had was pretty decent. I know he has those little things where it comes to the sixth inning and then he usually gives up 1 or 2 runs or 3 runs, but really he's actually, for what he started the season with, he's been bouncing back pretty okay for being, mind you, for being a 4th slot starter. He's being okay. Paxton, man, this is a guy, okay, James Paxton, this is a guy that I really, really rooted for because I remember when he pitched for Seattle. Okay, the guy was great. If you don't remember, he pitched a no-hitter last year with Seattle. The guy has quality stuff. However, I can't help at this point in the season to have one of those Sonny Gray flashback feelings. Now, I'm not saying he's... because I really do think he has better stuff than Sonny Gray. And I think that if anybody's going to pull it out, if he could just fucking get his head out of his asshole, that he could probably fucking bounce back because he has the stuff. But the frustration that I'm trying to withhold with that guy, here's an example. Like, if it gets to August, mid-August, and we're looking at even like maybe even next start, I'm at that point. But let's say like 2 starts, and he's still having the same issues in the beginning of the game with... Dude, thanks to John Boy for this, but I was listening to Talking Yanks. That podcast is amazing because they really make you think about shit that you know, but like you didn't even really think about for a second. John Boy was like saying like he gave up like 3 home runs to the leadoff guy in like 3 straight starts. How the fuck do you do that? I mean, okay, the first one, okay. The second one, after the second one, you're like, okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but this third time around, I'll pitch around. I don't give a fuck if I have to walk him. I'm not going to throw nothing that he can hit. I'm pitching around the first guy. That's just how it is. And he does it 3 times. How do you do it 3 times? It's like, I don't understand. Adjust to the situation, my dude. So yeah, I can't help to feel those little Sonny Gray moments that I feel like are coming back. I don't want to get to that yet because the amount of anger I had for Sonny Gray, first of all, he was with us for over a year, giving us that bullshit. So that's why I don't want to say it's necessarily Sonny Gray level yet, especially for the way he acted when he was traded and all that. He can go fuck himself for all I care. But I can't help but have that feeling. Now, as far as Tanaka, listen. Yes, the last 2 times Tanaka pitched against the Red Sox, he got blown the fuck up. Now, the first one, I really, really can't blame him, and I'll explain why. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of shade for this. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. That series in what was that? That was in London. I'm sorry, I don't have proof, so I don't want to say it's for sure. But from watching so much baseball and seeing how those games were, I really just I can't put pitchers to blame for anything. I feel like, I don't know, man, those balls were really moving. They were jumping off bats. That's all I'm going to say. You can kind of guess where I'm going with it, but I'm not going to say it because, like I said, I don't have proof of it. I am just a fan. I don't fucking work for the goddamn factories. But you know where I'm going with it, okay? All I'm going to say is that there was every pitcher in that fucking series was just... It didn't matter who you threw out there. The ball was jumping off the bat. That's what I'll say for that start. Now, as far as this start, they pretty much jumped on him again. So, here's the thing with Tanaka. Tanaka really, I can't give him too much shit for because, you know, with Severino being injured and the way we are with our starting pitching, Tanaka really was our... between Tanaka and Herman, those two really were like our kind of lockdown guys to really get us to this position throughout, April, May, June. They really were our lockdown guys. I mean, Tanaka was doing really good beforehand. He was pitching 8 innings here. I think he had a complete game this year, if I remember correctly. I mean, he does good normally, and we can't deny the fact that he's a fucking playoff pitcher. The guy can pitch in the playoffs. If the playoffs started tomorrow, even with the way Tanaka pitched, I'm still starting Tanaka game 1. I'm sorry. I'm still starting Tanaka game 1. You just have to go with it. The guy just likes to pitch in the playoffs. He needs that pressure. I really do feel that way. I don't know what's going on. This is another thing I'm going to kind of say, but not really say. Because it's going to kind of sound like what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to kind of sound like a salty Yankee fan. Which you could, whatever, you want to call it that, go ahead. I mean, we're in first place by 9, so I'm not really salty, but as far as history goes with the Boston Red Sox, and we all know what history they have when it comes to things of like stealing signs or using Apple Watches or having a guy up in the booth relaying signs to the dugout or things of that nature, okay? Or having pine tar on the arm. Now, I get it. Michael Pineda had it. That was fucking years ago. Get over it. Okay? He's not with the Yankees anymore. That was a one-time thing. Whatever. Okay? Like I said, I don't want to say it because I don't have proof. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just fucking know Tanaka very well already. Maybe Tanaka just didn't have shit. I mean, listen, a couple of those home runs, I was watching. A couple of those home runs, those pitches were down and in. Like, I think J.D. Martinez, the one that he hit, like a 3-run homer or something like that in like the first or second inning. That ball was down and in, close to his knee. And it's like he knew that fucking ball was going to come right there. Like, it's just like, hey, it's like the catcher said, psst, hey, this ball right here is going to come right down and in. He's just going to give it to you. Just do what you want. He hits a fucking moonshot over the green. Okay? So, that's all I'm going to say. Now, like I said, I don't have proof, so I'm not going to say that as for sure. It could just, like I said, Tanaka just not doing well. And it shows for the next 2 games that our starting pitching altogether just was not fucking doing well. Boston came in like a team that was down by 11 games, that knew that they were facing the top team with the 4-game series and knew that they can probably make a little bit of a push in the standings. And that's what they came out with. And the Yankees were not, as far as starting pitching-wise, the Yankees were not ready for that. Boston came ready to go. They know, that's one thing about Boston I'll give them credit for. When it comes to situational games, they're going to come after you. You're not going to get these, like, lay-down games. Like, it's not going to, I mean, they'll be back 11 games, and they'll be like, hey, we got an opportunity to make it 7. We're fucking coming after you. Fuck that. We're not going down like that. I'll give them credit for that. These guys come ready to go. And that's one thing that I see that I sometimes don't see with the Yankees at times, where, then again, it could just, because their offense really is doing pretty okay. They're not, of course, not doing those clutch hits as much as they used to. But, Judge has definitely had a terrible series. This guy, what was he, 1 for 17? I mean, listen, our best guy, Aaron Judge, you can't have 1 for 17 against a rival. And then especially after last year, what you did and playing music in the clubhouse and then looking like a fool because they fucking celebrated on our turf. This is why you don't celebrate early, man. You just don't celebrate early. Achieve it and then celebrate, okay? Please. Because then it makes you look like a jerk-off. It really does. Because I'm telling you right now, what Red Sox, I feel bad for the Yankee fans that live in Boston. Because right now, their arguments are, oh, what happened to your man Judge? He's playing all those music and talking shit about the Red Sox and, whatever, and playing the Yankee song in our clubhouse last year and acting like you guys were great. And what did he do? He went 1 for 17, couldn't do shit. This is why you can't have that, man. Just fucking come ready to play. Don't worry. Just come play. And he seems very late on all the pitches. He's swinging at pitches that are just not even close. He's almost having like a reminder of like the Giancarlo Stanton of last year, like where okay, he got 30 home runs when we didn't need it. Number one, number two, the guy was swinging at fucking pitches that were not even close to the damn strike zone. And I'm not saying like balls that are nasty curves that start in the middle of the plate and then break down. No, I'm talking about balls that start low and end low. I mean, just really terrible pitches they're swinging at. So that's one thing I do wish the offense can kind of, and that's not just Judge too. I've noticed that with Luke Voigt. He's the opposite. Pitch would be right down the middle and he ain't swinging. So I mean, it's like where you have one guy that's swinging at shit, and then you have the other guy that just won't swing at anything good. So I mean, the offense got to kind of get back, and that's the thing about All-Star breaks too. Is when you have that All-Star break, sometimes it's like it's almost bad. You kind of wish that you didn't have the All-Star break. You wish it was just let's keep going because we have it together now, and to kind of break that routine is gonna not do well. But I feel like we're gonna be getting it back together. Now listen, trade deadline's Wednesday. Okay, as far as the Marcus Stroman situation, that is one that fucking mind boggles me. Only for two reasons. One, in my opinion, that was the guy I wanted the Yankees to get more than anybody for a couple of reasons. One, he aggravates the Red Sox. Every time he pitches against the Red Sox, they don't like it. They don't like that he fucking messes with the timing and does all that shit. They don't like it. It frustrates them, and he does well against them for that. They don't. That's a guy when you see that, you got to be like, we're grabbing him. He just like what the Red Sox did with Chris Sale, although this year's a little different, granted. But the Red Sox literally got Chris Sale because we can never fucking hit him when he was playing for Chicago. This guy would fucking lights out all day on us. And that's what we had to do. We have to go after guys like that. Stroman was a great... He's 28, 29. Still has 2 years. That's the guy you want. And he's pitched in this division, so he knows... he could pitch in this division. And it's not a matter of if. It's a matter of let him go out there. Now, there's... If the case is being... And this is what I'm going to say. If this is true, and Toronto wanted Gleyber Torres for Marcus Stroman, and they didn't want to budge off of Gleyber Torres, then by all means, very nice job, Cashman, on saying, get the fuck out of my face with that offer. Okay? If that's the case, I find it difficult. I understand they're going to have a little bit of a, as to use John Boy's term, a little bit of a tax for being, for dealing in our own division. They're gonna want a decent prospect pool or whatever. I'd give him Clint Frazier, Estevan, whatever the fuck. Okay, we're trying to win now. Fucking. I agree when it comes to that shit with John Boy. Fuck prospects. We don't need them. Okay, we're ready to win now. We need starting pitching. We already have young guys. We don't need any more. With the exception of, like I said, if they're asking for Gleyber, they can go take a walk with that bullshit, because that's not fucking happening. And I really, if that's the case, then good job on Cashman to not get that desperate, because we are desperate. Don't get me wrong. We're desperate for a starting pitcher. But I'm glad that he's in his right state of mind, and he's like, no, if that's the case, again, I'm going to repeat, if that's the case, that he's like, fuck that. We're not giving you Gleyber Torres. That's a fucking kid he's been in the major leagues for 2 years. He's been an all-star in both. This kid's 20 fucking what? 21, 22? No way. We're not giving you an MLB player already at that age. That's going to be a phenom and is only going to get better with age. Fuck that. So if that's the case, great. Now, there's also guys like Madison Bumgarner out there, which I don't think the Giants are going to trade anymore because they're actually making a push. The guy from the Nationals we won't even get into because they're definitely not trading Max Scherzer. That's not going to happen. So it really leaves us with guys, and this is what the speculation is, especially because the Yankees are going to start a 2-game set with Arizona Diamondbacks in Yankee Stadium, I believe. Is it in Yankee Stadium? Yeah, at Yankee Stadium. Today and tomorrow, that it could be a Robbie Ray type deal where we get Robbie Ray. You know, I would like. I wouldn't mind that. It can't get much worse. I don't think. After this weekend, that's the good thing. I mean, I feel like any pitcher they get, it can't get much worse. Shit. But I guess be careful what you wish for, too. You got Matt Boyd that's out there from Detroit that they can also go after. Matt Boyd looks pretty good, especially being that he's pitching for a team that really is fucking absolutely horrible and going nowhere. It takes a lot for a pitcher to want to pitch. And then again, you can also say the flip side where, there's no pressure on him. They know that they're not going to go anywhere. He's just going to be sent out there to pitch every 5 days, and whatever happens, happens. So he has no pressure on him. You never know if he comes to a team that's actually trying to win a championship and make a push, that pressure may get to him and he may not do that well. You could see it on both sides, and that's one of those gambles that you're going to have to go, do I want to give up prospects for that kind of a gamble or not? That's the shit. With a lot of any pitcher, really. I mean, Diamondbacks are just a game under 500. They're still sort of in there. So who knows what they're going to ask for? Who else is out there? I mean, other than that, is there really anybody out there? That's the problem. Like, it really is a problem because you're like, man, everybody screams like we need a starting pitcher. It's the trade deadline. We need to get somebody. Okay, you got Trevor Bauer. Now let's go with Trevor Bauer. First of all, I would love Trevor Bauer, and as much as his Twitter kind of annoys me a little bit, at times I kind of also like the fire he has. And like I said, any guy that has that kind of fire is perfect for Yankee Stadium because that's the type of guys that are most likely to come in and just exceed over those, with that kind of environment. Now, there's some people that are like, did you see what he did his last start? He threw the ball over the center field fence. I don't want that fucking guy. Well, you know what? Fuck you, because I do. All right? I don't give a fuck. As a matter of fact, if anything, that made me want him even more. Because now, I'm like, dude, this is a guy that's pissed. One thing that kind of aggravates me, and this kind of all ties in with the James Paxton and Sonny Gray. When these fucking guys fuck up, they kind of they don't even look pissed. It's more of like a disappointed, like, duh, oh man, I gave up another hit, damn. You know what I mean? Like, Sonny Gray, you asked him afterwards, well, I'm trying, it's unfortunate. What the fuck? Like, Greg Bird was another one like that? Fuck that, man. Get a little angry. Get a little passionate. Get ready to fucking go, man. We're trying to win a championship. You know what I mean? So when I see Trevor Bauer out there fucking frustrated, especially, and if you watch the inning, those were the most insane fucking unbelievable bullshit little tappers to give up those runs. It's not like he was laying balls right down the middle and they were just crushing him. No. There was a pop-up that was not caught by the center fielder. Couldn't really see the ball. Okay. Another one was like a fucking a ground ball that barely made it through. Really, the second baseman probably could have made a play on it. It was just a tapper. Then another hit was just over the second baseman's head. Literally just like his hand was out there and it just went over his glove. So it's not like the guy was getting smacked. And even that, he was like pissed that he gave up the lead. And you know what, man? Listen, he'll be the first to say that was probably not the best way to show it. Do what fucking Paul O'Neill did. Just go in the dugout and fucking punch a fucking bottle of fucking Gatorade or water, whatever the fuck. Do that. Or don't punch it, because that may hurt your fucking hand. But just, I don't know, elbow it or something. No, don't use your elbow either. Fuck. I don't know, man. Just kick it or some shit. Or throw something at it. I don't know. Do that instead. Paul O'Neill was one of my favorite players growing up for that reason. I can never get mad at the dude. He would come in, he'd get a ground ball or something like that. And mind you, okay, of course he hits for 330, whatever it may be. But still, this guy would get like a ground ball or an out or a pop-up, and he was pissed. And it's like, how do you get mad? Because after every at-bat, that fucker gave 100% of his effort to try and get a hit or on base or whatever it may be. He did not like getting out. And that's the type of player I like, especially in New York. I think that contributed to why he was so good at New York. He's a competitor. He likes to compete at that level. He wants that pressure. He wants to fucking make shit happen. Okay, so if we get Trevor Bauer, listen, if Cleveland calls up tomorrow and says, hey, listen, Brian, listen, We're willing to give you Trevor Bauer. However, listen, you're going to have to give us like Clint Frazier, Estevan Florial, and I don't know, like Abreu. We won't take that pitching prospect, the other guy, Devi or whatever the fuck his name is. For that, I'll give them all three. Now, if they want the Devi guy or whatever his name is, then I would say, well, listen, if you want him, I'll give you him and Clint Frazier for Trevor Bauer, and we call it a day. I don't want to give you Estevan Florial for him. That's too much. But I'll give you Clint Frazier because fuck Clint Frazier. And that's just me because I just hate the fucking guy. I hate his attitude. I hate his defense. And I hate his stupid fucking head. I just don't like him. He's a fucking little shit. And his attitude and the way he treats the fucking team, he can go fuck himself somewhere else. Granted, he'll probably be an all-star. His bat is great. He'll probably be good. Maybe his defense will come back. Maybe it won't. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be here when it happens. I don't want him to be here when it happens. Go somewhere else. As long as it's not Boston or some shit. Just go somewhere else, man. Get the fuck out. Go to Cleveland. I don't give a fuck. Isn't that where we got him from, too? We got him from Cleveland, didn't we? He was part of the deal when we fucking traded, what the hell's that fucking lefty that he sucks. So that could be a way to be like, listen, you get back the guy you traded for that fucking piece of shit that we gave you, and, we wipe that shit clean. You know what I mean? Clint Frazier and that Devi guy for fucking Trevor Bauer. Let's do it right now. Where do I sign? I'll take that. That might be the only pitching guy I would probably want at the trade deadline. That's probably the only logical one. I can't think of any other pitcher that's available of that caliber that we can really jump on. I just don't see it. So it's kind of like Trevor Bauer bust at this point. I can't think of anybody else. And, in a way, it's like, look, you got granted Severino hasn't pitched all year. He's not going to be starting probably all season. He may pitch out of the bullpen. Maybe they'll see what happens and they'll throw him in a start, depending on if we get like a 15-game lead or some crazy shit like that. Sure, they'll probably see. Let's see if you could throw 5 innings today, or let's give you an extended, like a starter type deal where they kind of use him like what they use with Chad Green. Let's throw him out there for the first 2 or 3 innings, see what he does, and then kind of increasingly go if we get it. But that I feel like they would only do if we have a good enough lead in the division. Then you have Jordan Montgomery, who's another one that's going to be coming back. And, man, you guys may not remember him, man. Jordan Montgomery was a really good lefty. I remember him. He had a lot of good quality shit, man. And granted, he hasn't pitched in like a year, more than a year. So that's going to be even more so than Severino. So that's going to be a guy that's probably going to have to work his way back into the rotation. Maybe not even this year. He may not even be in the playoffs. He'll probably just pitch out of the bullpen in September. Who knows what they're going to do or how they're going to play that. Once again, it depends on what happens during the trade deadline, of course. But I don't know. That's what it really comes down to. I mean, the options, guys. You can't just throw shit. And like I said, I mean, you can't just throw Gleyber Torres to get a fucking stud. It's not worth it. It's really not. That kid is too good. I'm telling you, he's 22 and he's only gonna get better. He's only gonna get better, man. And I like that kid. He'll be fine. I want him to stay with us. Herman is another guy here. Sometimes they're asking for why give him Herman? Why? We can keep Herman. He's obviously MLB ready. He could be our next Severino. He can be our next Severino of the first half of last year. Okay, that could be him. Imagine us having Severino and him in the 1-2 spot, pitching the way Herman was pitching and him pitching the way he was pitching, and then you have Tanaka that gives you usually good starts, and then maybe even having like Paxton, if he ever finds his fucking head out of his asshole and starts to pitch again. That's what we need. You know what I mean? Like we can work with that. We can really work with that. So that's why it's like, yes, we're desperate right now. But these, first of all, teams hate the Yankees. They don't want to see us keep continuously winning every year. Sorry, but it's true. It doesn't matter what the team is. They just don't want to see us win every year. That's what we take on, being the best team in franchise history, in sports history. Okay? That's what we take on. People don't want to see, they're tired of seeing us win. So, yeah, a lot of teams are going to be like, yeah, you want our guy? Well, you're going to have to give us everything in your kitchen sink with it. And Brian Cashman, being the logical fucking person that he is, he's going to be like, nope, I don't give a fuck, because I'm trying to win for more than just this year. I want to win for like the next 3-4 years. I want to be competitive. So I'm not going to give you my fucking top second baseman that I'm planning on having for the next 10-15 years. You know, so I can get a pitcher for fucking for half a year or even a year and a half. We don't even know if he's gonna sign. Get the fuck out of here. But we'll give you a Clint Frazier who we don't really like anyway, and he has an attitude problem, and we're not gonna even call him up. We're gonna have Maben come in before he does because we don't even like him that much. Okay, so you can have that fuck. And yeah, you know what? That pitching prospect we have, a lot of people are like high on him, but listen, what the fuck are you waiting on? You want to wait on that guy to be good in 3 years? Fuck that. Trade him for what we get now. Let's get a pitcher that's qualified now. Fuck that. But anyway, listen. We lost 19-3 the first game. We lost 10-5 the next game. So our offense they're scoring runs. I mean, the first game was a fluke. It didn't really matter. 5 runs should be enough to win ball games. Granted, they were pitchers on the red Boston. They're probably just lobbing balls in there at that point, just looking for outs. We'll give them the benefit. 9-5 again on what was that, Saturday? Yeah, Saturday was 9-5. We lost. Competitive game a little bit, but again, starting pitching, giving up 9 fucking runs. You can't win games like that. And even fucking even Sunday, I mean, we won 9-6. There's still 6 runs. I mean, guys, listen. We got to start winning games where it's like 4-2, 3-1, whatever the fuck it may be, man. We can't just go in there. When it comes to playoff time, I'm telling you right now, we're not going to be fucking scoring all these runs. We're scoring runs like this now, yeah, sure. But I'm telling you right now, when you have their aces come out, these guys are ready for playoffs, you are not scoring those runs every game like that. You got to have pitching that's going to be able to shut shit down, and you got to win those 4-2, 4-1, 5-1, whatever, 3-2, whatever the fuck it may be. You can't expect your fucking guys to get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 runs to win you a fucking ball game. 14 runs we had to fucking score against Minnesota to win 14-12 in extra innings. You got to be kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding me with that shit. Figure it out. Learn how to pitch. I'm Rothschild. Help. Please. Please, just help. I understand it's not all your fault. Pitchers got to go out there and do it. But you have Carlos Beltran that tried to help out. You had fucking Pedro Martinez help with Severino. Notice how none of these stories go with, oh, Larry Rothschild fucking taught me how to do this. Oh, Larry Rothschild pointed this out to me. No, it was always, well, fucking Pedro Martinez showed me how to do this. Or, well, Carlos Beltran pointed this out to me. Or whatever. You know what I mean? Help a little bit. Just a little bit. Just try and tell these guys, pick it up a little bit, all right? Be a fucking champ. Do your job. All right? I'm not going to put all the blame on you because you're not the one that has to go out there. I'm sure these guys go out there wanting to win. They're trying their best, whatever. It's not, you can only do so much being in the dugout. But try a little bit, you know? Trying to observe a little bit. See if you can find something that doesn't really fucking work. Help them work on their mechanics, whatever it may be. Just help a little bit. Anyway, that's going to be just about do it for now. Like I said, guys, we're going to start doing this again. What I'm going to try and do, like I said, after every series, so being that this is Tuesday, the next one would probably be the day off, which is what, Thursday? Thursday would probably, if not Thursday, definitely Friday. It would be before the game on Friday. We have another series with the Red Sox this weekend, which is a doubleheader on Saturday. That's going to be another heart attack in the making. So we'll see how that goes this weekend. It could be a bumpy ride. Right now, we just got to focus on Arizona tonight, and then tomorrow we'll focus on Arizona tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, I just realized we play at 1 o'clock tomorrow on a Wednesday, so I may stream a couple of innings. But other than that, I'm out of here, guys. We're getting down to the wire. Hopefully on Thursday I'll have some news. Hopefully we see if we get somebody on the trade deadline. And if not, we'll talk about it. But as far as that goes, let's get some wins, guys. This is it. We're getting down to the wire here. August is 2 days away. That's it. It's time. It's crackdown time. Let's go. It's time to win a championship. Number 28, baby. Let's go, Yankees. Let's get it done, baby!